Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Monday market breakdown. Now, guys, in this session, we're going to be breaking down pairs that you're going to be focusing on for this week. So, guys, without wasting any time, let us begin breaking down our pairs and also doing our forecasting on for our future entries on any of these pairs. Now, first things first, guys, we're having what the DXY, which is what the dollar index. So we're just simply analyzing this so we can get a perspective on which direction the US dollar is might be headed towards. So without wasting any time, let us jump on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we do see price coming from this heavy impulsive movement and then giving us what this descending sideways corrective structure that formed a breakout over here. So overall, this is having what the higher probability of continuing to climb all the way to the upside. And as we're jumping onto what our daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, what are we seeing on this one? So on the daily, we do see price coming from this impulsive move and then giving us what this big overall continuation structure that is having what a higher probability of continuing to climb to the upside. And now as we're moving on to what our mid time frame. So on the mid time frame, we are having what this overall big continuation structure to support what those overall buys to the upside that from the breakout continue to climb up. And now in the lower time frame, for our confirmation, we did see price previously forming what these continuation structures. And then now currently we do see price is also giving us what this final continuation structure that is confirming that this is having what an overall higher probability of continuing to climb all the way to the upside. So this is how, guys, the DXY is looking like. So now that we do have a sense of bias on the dollar, let us jump into what our Forex pairs. Now, the first pair that you are having on our wish list is what the Australian dollar over the US dollar. So in this one, let us start on the weekly and work our way down onto our lower time frames. So on the weekly time frame, we are seeing price coming from what this heavy impulsive movement and then giving us what this sideways corrective structure that formed a breakout and a retest. So overall, this is having what the higher probability of continuing to climb to the downside. So this might be that overall target. And as I'm moving on to the daily time frame, what are we seeing on the daily? So on the daily, we are seeing price once again coming from an impulsive movement and then giving us what this ascending continuation pattern that broke out to the downside. As you can see over here, price from the breakout, this is having a high probability of dropping all the way to the downside. And as I'm moving on, well, onto our 4 hour time frame. So on the mid time frame, we are seeing price giving us what this continuation structure to confirm that this is having what a high probability of dropping to the downside. And as we're jumping on to our lower time frame, so on the lower time frame, what are we seeing? So we are seeing price coming from this impulsive movement and then giving us what this overall continuation structure that is having what a valid pattern of entry. So this is how we're looking to enter this on the breakout, stop loss above the structure and take profit all the way to the downside. So this is how we are looking at what AUD over the USD. Now let us move on over to our next pair, which is the NZD over the USD. So this one, once again, let's move on to the weekly time frame and let us work our way down. So on the weekly time frame, we are seeing price dropping from this impulsive movement and then giving us what this continuation structure that from the breakout to confirm that this is having what a high probability of continuing to drop all the way to the downside. So now let us move on to our daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we are seeing price dropping from this impulsive movement and then giving us what this continuation structure that formed the breakout. So this is having what the high probability of dropping down. And now as we're moving on to our mid time frame. So on the mid time frame, we are also seeing price dropping from this impulsive movement and then giving us what this continuation structure that formed the breakout. So this is having a high probability of dropping. And now on our lower time frame, we are seeing price dropping down. So we are waiting to see whether price will give us what a valid swing high, because we're ready to have what two valid swing highs. So all that we're looking for is just a valid swing low, is to climb and then start to drop all the way to the downside. That is when you can start to anticipate those sales to the downside. In the breakout, stop loss above the structure and our take profit all the way to the downside. So this is how we are looking at what the New Zealand dollar over the US dollar. So now let us move on over to our next pair, which is what the euro over the US dollar. So with this one, once again, starting from the weekly, we are seeing price dropping from this impulsive and then giving us with this big ascending structure. So this is having a high probability of continuing to drop all the way to the downside up until the 90% roll. And now coming on to our daily time frame. So in the daily time frame, we are seeing price giving us what this continuation structure from the breakout. So this is having a high probability of continuing to drop all the way to the downside. And now coming on to our mid time frame. So in the mid time frame, we did have what price giving us this continuation structure that from the breakout to confirm what those cells. And then now on the lower time frame, this is where we had what our first entry, second entry around there, and price is looking like it's about to give us what our final third entry. So this is how we are looking at it. Entry on the breakout, stop loss above the pattern, and our take profit all the way to the downside. So this is how we are looking at what the euro over the US dollar. So now into our next pair, which is what the Great British Pound over the US dollar. Once again, on the weekly time frame, this is how things are looking like. Price dropping from what this impulsive movement and then giving us what this continuation structure that's from the breakout to confirm that this is having a high probability of dropping all the way to the downside. And now coming on to the daily time frame. So in the daily time frame, we have what this impulsive movement, and this is what is our continuation structure. That's from the breakout. So this is having what a high probability of dropping down. And now coming on to our mid time frame, we're having what this is our impulsive movement, and this is our what is our continuation structure. That's from the breakout, having a high probability of dropping down. And now coming on to our lower time frame, we are seeing that we are having what this valid swing lows, all that we're waiting for, valid swing highs, and this is how we look to enter on the breakout, stop loss above the structure, and our target all the way to the downside. So this is how I am looking at what the Great British Pound over the US dollar. And now our next pair, which is EuroCAD. So with EuroCAD, let's move on to our weekly time frame. So in the weekly time frame, we are seeing that we are coming from this impulsive movement, and price is giving us what this continuation structure that did form what the breakout and the retest. So overall, this is having what the high probability of climbing all the way to the upside. And now let us jump onto our daily. Just give me a second, guys, so I can grab my charger. Okay, so now guys, as on the daily time frame, we are seeing that we are coming from this impulsive movement, and price is giving us what this continuation structure by price broke out and then it formed what a retest. So overall, this is having what a higher probability of continuing to climb all the way to the upside. And now coming on to our 4 hour time frame, what are we seeing on the 4 hour? So on the 4 hour, we are coming from this impulsive move, and we are seeing that we are having what this descending continuation structure, as you do see over here. So overall, this is having what a high probability of climbing all the way to the upside. And now dropping lower onto our entry time frame. So on our entry time frame, if we just move this trend line back, we do see this impulsive movement, and we do see what we are having with this valid continuation structure. So this is how we are looking to enter this on the breakout, stop loss below the structure, and our take profit all the way to the upside. So this is how I am looking at what at EuroCAD. As you can see over here. Now on to our next pair, which is what the Great British Pound over the Canadian dollar. So on the weekly time frame on this one, we do see that we are coming from what this heavy impulsive movement and prices forming what this continuation structure. That's forming a breakout and a retest. The overall momentum is to the upside. And now coming into our daily time frame. So on the daily, we do see that we are coming once again from this impulsive movement. We are having what this descending continuation structure that formed a breakout. So overall, we are having what the higher probability of moving all the way to the upside. And now coming on to our 4-hour time frame, we are seeing that we're having what this impulsive movement and we are having what this corrective structure. As you do see, so once this starts from what the breakout, this is having high probability of climbing up. And now coming into our lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, we already had what this first continuation structure that we could have used to enter. So we'll have to wait for another one somewhere around the breakout that we can use to execute our buys for all the way to the upside, like so. So this is how we are looking at what a GBP CAD. And now for our final pair, we are having what the Great British Pound over the New Zealand dollar. So this one on the weekly, we are seeing price is coming from an impulsive movement up and then giving us what this continuation structure that's from the breakout. So overall, this is having what the higher probability of climbing all the way to the upside. And now if I move on to our daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we do see that we are having what this descending structure. That's from the breakout. So overall, this is having like a high probability of continuing to climb up until the 90% roll. And now coming on to our mid-time frame. So on the mid-time frame, just this like so. So on the mid-time frame, we did have what this descending small continuation structure from that the breakout over there to confirm those buys. And then once again in the lower time frame. So this was the first trade that I did execute. So this one took me out on break even, as you can see, took me out on break even. So what are we looking for to still be able to capitalize on this one? So just a simple continuation structure, like so, would be more than sufficient in order for us to execute our buys to the upside. Like so. So this is how I am looking at the Great British Pound over the New Zealand dollar. So guys, this is how my watch list is looking like for the week. Obviously, I won't be executing most of these pairs, right? Because most of them, they are related. As you can see, the US dollar is common, the Great British Pound is common, and the Canadian dollar is mostly common. So I'll be executing one of the pairs that is not common from each other. So if I'm executing anything with USD, I'll not be taking another pair that involves the USD or GBP or CAD or something like that. But yeah, for now, guys, this is going to be the end of our session. So our VIP members, guys, I'm going to continue to update you on our Discord channel on the progression of these pairs. And if any of these pairs are ready to be traded, I'll continue to update you also on those pairs. But for now, this is the end, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time.